So new for this season is the Response. It's got a little combo of two things. It's got the Xera's double boa, and it's got that same double boa that's just like Burton Speed Lace. The upper and lower are completely separate, like I talked about above in depth, and really love it. It's got this articulating cuff that's very similar to the Xera. That improves the longevity of flex, but then it's got a few things from the tactical ADV, like a similar flex, and I noticed they felt very similar to me. They both have this rubber backstay that is a little better than the Xera in terms of longevity. At least it feels that way to me, but it's and it's very nice to see, but it's missing the good old really lovable energy boost technology. And that's something that I'm a little disappointed in, because this might have been my boot this year if it wasn't for that, but I'm just become so accustomed to the shock absorption in the tactical ADV, and I've ridden this for almost a whole season, not exclusively, but more than any other boot. Obviously I review gear, so I can't ride it exclusively, but if I were to probably choose one boot for the season, it would be the tactical ADV. That was my personal favorite last season, and probably this season as well. However, so you're missing the shock absorption, but look at this. You're only seeing a little bit. The white part is EVA foam that has no traction. It's just crap. But then look at the nice Continental rubber. I think it's Continental. Yeah, Continental rubber. All the way on the front foot where you're doing most of your walking, and then a nice backup around the heel. I do like the liner. This is the silver liner, and the volume and the comfort factor is just about the same as the as the gold liner in the Xera, except for inside here, and I'll show you, it's got a different inside. It's a little fuzzier, a little smoother. I liked the, I think they call it mesh, kind of the mesh. It's more like this material on the inside with the gold, and it feels like it holds your ankle in place. It fits a little better. I like that a little better than this smooth, kind of just double fuzz the whole way through, all the way down in there. The insole, it's doable, but it's not that great. And what I would do is get like Footprint Insole Technology Remind, or get your own custom orthotic. That would probably be a lot better than keeping this, but it does work. The liner has the same thing going on as last year. It's got neoprene or neoprene-like material in the heel and in the toes here, so it feels a little wider than it normally would for a, even though this feels like it has a very similar fit to Burton, like we talked about last year, I feel like it's a little bit wider inside, just because of this neoprene and this thinner liner. The footprint on these, as you can see down below, if you actually read, not just watch the videos, which I hope you do, because I spend a shit ton of time writing this shit up. So, look down, do a little reading for me. And there are pictures, but there's pictures here that I took to kind of give you an idea of the footprint. And you can see that when compared to the tactical in a size 9, there's no real there's a little difference. There's no real difference. There's a little difference. It's a little smaller in the tactical ADV, and I think that's because maybe they had to make it a little more bulky for the boa, and maybe it increased the length as well as the width. But it's still very reduced, and when I compared it to a Burton boot, it was still just a little bit shorter in size 9 than a Burton boot. Why I keep mentioning the size is because what I demoed and what I found last year was kind of interesting as the season progressed. I started getting emails from other people who said, hey, you know, we've noticed that in a size 10, a size 11, and you know, and I bought size 10s, size 11 and 11 and a half for Zobel and Jimbo to get them on. You know, I thought the reduced footprint would be massively reduced, just like the size 9 is versus a size 9 Burton. But in actuality, as you get up in size to 10, 10 and a half, 11, 11 and a half, and so on, it seems like they kind of are about the same size as Burton boots. So I don't really think as you get into that key critical size where a lot of people are really looking for reduced footprint, you know, from like 10 to 12 is kind of that, you know, but basically anything above 10 and a half is really important. Or if you're if you're a small guy with big feet and you're trying to ride a smaller board, then yeah, the Adidas Tactical seems to be evenly reduced throughout the line, where you know, like Burton and Ride and some of the others, as you go up in size, they seem to try to reduce it a little more. So you know, the scale's different. However, you know, and just in terms of the way the boot hits the snow, it's, you know, if it's 1-to-1, it's fine. You can see here, this sits pretty flat. It's got a little bit of forward lean, but when you compare it to some of the other boots, they have curves in here, so the heel sinks in a little bit further. So all in all, the reduced footprint and the way this will integrate with the board will be helpful. You know, we say it, but it's pretty close between Burton and Adidas when it comes to reduced footprint. So it's not what I thought it was last year, but it's still pretty damn good. Now, one thing I noticed, and you can kind of see here when I was riding, these are some afterthoughts, and I talked about this on the review too, but the review above. But this area on a forward flex, you can see how it kind of folds down and creates a pressure point there. It was very tolerable the first day. Second day, even better. But I'm not sure if it's going to keep getting better or not. You know, I can't say for sure because I'm not riding these all season. I can't, you know, I can only get a couple days on these and then, you know, and then move on. But I love the comfort factor. I love that they've really kind of changed the tracking. With some of the boots last year, I used to get a nice bite kind of right here. This all feels fine now. It's just this area. I don't know how to, what suggestions to make to fix it, but I just want to say, like, keep tweaking, keep working at it. It's getting better, but it's still got a little ways to go before it has that, you know, that perfect fit, but it's getting close. So all in all, you know, really impressed with this boot and everything it does. You know, not much going on here, just a little lace in the inside here, and it's just typical. It seems like these are with almost every boot. You know, you pull it down, pop this down, you kind of push down like this, it locks, and then you pull it up and it comes off. So all in all, the Adidas Response, it is a great choice. I still prefer the Tactical ADV a little better because you get better shock absorption. But if if you want, you know, the simplicity of BOA, but with the adjustability of Burton Speed Lace, you know, this might be the better call. And I think it's a really good boot and it's really well done. Only one minor little issue is this, you know, this little down pressure right here. But it's much better than, you know, that kind of mid-level boot from last year in this price point. So there you have it.